Hello and welcome back to Smith Robotics. Now today I'm going to show you how to make these animatronic eyes, as you can see here, from Five Nights at Freddy's. This is pretty much based off the regular sources video, which I'll leave in the description below. However, mine is going to be slightly different, mainly with the painting here. So I'll tell you what you need now. You need these clear plastic Christmas baubles. You want to make sure that they're a bit clean rather than having all this scuff on them. Make sure as well that it doesn't really matter which ones you use, but I prefer using the ones where it's all smooth, even down to the side. So yeah. And you'll also need this epoxy resin kit as well. Pretty much any resin kit as long as it's clear, of course. And it will come with the resin A and then the hardener B, which you'll also need. If you've got a printer as well, that will be amazing because you'll need to print out the main eye here, as you can see, and I've already got two of ones printed. I did make a set of eyes before, however they didn't really go as planned because as I was spray painting them, the rain happened outside while I left them, so they didn't really end up looking nice. So I'm going to restart and show everybody it. So what I'm going to start off doing right now is making sure that these are all clear and they're not all messed up and everything. Just making sure that they're quickly cleaned down and everything. Now, what I prefer to do at the start is just take these little tabs off here. Pretty much I'm just going to use these clippers quickly. Don't be too worried if it doesn't look right on the side with the little bit of damage there. Nobody's going to see it in the long run, so I don't think anyone's noticed on mine, so yeah. Apart from that, maybe because that took quite a bit of a chunk out, but as long as it fits onto the main animatronic eye, which I made, it'll be fine. Nobody will notice. These ones here are for when the animatronics are haunted. So yeah, with the white peoples and everything of how I made them. But onto the main eye here. After you've cut those off, you want to make sure how they may slightly wobble a little bit. But essentially just put those to the side for now, then we'll go on to the resin. So right now we're going to start on making the resin. As you can see here, has both mixes in the kit, A and B. I'm not really going to be bothering to spell now. Also comes with these small, I guess, cups or flasks, I don't know, but they've got measurements on here so you know how many milliliters there are in here. So essentially you want to put in half and half of both mixes. So because I did this yesterday, I'm only going to put up to 10 millimeters for both of them, so only up to 20. I'm going to do that just to shorten down on the video and everything, so yeah. Also comes with these so you can mix them as well, and I'm just wearing a glove because, well, I don't really like getting the resin and everything stuck in my hand. They do come with their own here in little packs, but essentially I already had my own, so I'm just going to wear them at the minute. So I'm going to put these in now and I'll be back in a minute. Okay, so I put both mixes inside, both A and B, so it's only up to 20 milliliters at the minute. So what it says on the back of here, it says to stir for around about 3 to 5 minutes. Make sure you go slow as well so there isn't many bubbles coming up to the top, otherwise that will be kind of an issue when it's finally hardened and everything, because as you can see here there are no bubbles, and it looks a lot nicer that way. So just want to make sure everybody knows that. At the minute I'll stir that, then I'll show you what I do, how much you're supposed to put into the eyes.
Hi, are you a fan of Five Nights at Freddy's, Animatronics and Cosplays? Well, welcome to the right place. Smith from Robotics here. Have many animatronics from Five Nights at Freddy's, even other pop culture stuff as well that we're currently making. So, if you want to join here, consider liking, subscribing, and even commenting and sharing this video with other people who may be interested, especially today, since we are currently making realistic animatronic eyes from Five Nights at Freddy's, and we'll show you how. So, you best get onto it, otherwise you'll be like me, stuck in this spring trap head. I'm not joking.
So right now I have mixed it together for a good few minutes. You can see that how there are bubbles, which is not good. However, I can't think at the minute. I apologise for that. But at the minute I don't really mind because I just know over time they'll just disappear type of thing. But as well, since this came in the kit as well, this is so like you can pour out exact measurements and everything. Now, what I'm going to do is take the, I can still see some in this one here. Oh, like, or is that just on the outside? That looks more on the outside actually, which is fine because as long as it's not on the inside, it's fine. So sometimes what I do is, as well, I'll get back to these in a second. But like, they're just a good tip to see how much you're supposed to pour in. I'm trying to make sure it gets in the center as much as possible. So you want to squeeze the top there, allow some of it to go up. There will be bubbles still, but... And then what you want to do is this isn't the best idea, I'll have to say. However, it does work still if you just want to be careful of how much you're pouring in. Essentially, if it gets like that where like it just doesn't really bother how much you pour in, you just want to be careful because sometimes when you pour in this, it may look like you're pouring the exact amount in based on the area there of the eye, but it can sometimes trick you. So like pouring a little bit extra more just so it like lays over the top. I got a little bit stuck on the side there by accident. I'm just gonna use so yeah, so now what you want to do is you want to leave that to the side, make sure it's as stable as possible, and just leave it. I'll go on side here, but it will sometimes look like it's on its side, but as long as you leave it that way then it should be fine. Now what you can do is pretty much do the exact same thing for the other side, so I'll be back in a moment. So now, after putting both of them on the side there and waiting them for it to dry, you can essentially just clean these out with water. Make sure you do it quickly, otherwise it will harden up and it'll be pretty much impossible to remove from here. But I'm not going to worry about that just right now, so I'm going to put that at the side. Same with this, because I hardly ever use these, so it goes back in the box. You can essentially put these away now, you don't need them at all. That was pretty much what you need them for. If you have extra, if you put in like a little bit more extra amount of resin that you had in it, you can always just make some spare eyes if you want to. That's what I did with these. Now, it's quite hard to tell that I have put them in or not, but as you can see on the inside, it kind of stops and it flattens there. That means I have put them in. It's the same thing with this one here, like you can tell it's flat rather than curved. Now, if you have a laptop, computer, I don't know if you can do it on iPad. You might be able to, I'm not too sure. But essentially what you want to do is you want to print out the main eye, the main image of the eyes from the animatronics if you want to, for example. For example, this one's going to be Freddy's. Well, technically Golden Freddy's, but like, he doesn't have the possessed eyes. I made them though, because I think they look cool. Don't look exact, but for now they do look good. So, for example, with these, you want to make sure the diameter is 30 millimeters from pretty much all the sides. Pretty much, you want to make sure that's 30 millimeters or 3 centimeters. Pretty much, because that's kind of roughly how big the eyes are that I've calculated from the games. It could be a little bit smaller, it could be a little bit bigger, I don't know, but that's just what I'm going to go off with. After printing those off, what you'll have to do is you will have to cut them out. Make sure that you do it right. So I'm going to just cut these out quickly. Exactly, I just kind of quickly cut out the main part of them so I'm not fiddling around with the paper or anything. So yeah, essentially those parts there, the white parts, that's just a little bit of paper that I did. That's why they're not exactly round. But what you want to do here is with these, just want to make sure how you can get as much around the edges as possible so it's round. I'm taking my time with it so I don't mess up. It's okay if you leave a little bit of white on there, it's not gonna hurt. It won't show up with the paint, which is good. I mean, the one on here you can't really see. I did have better eyes though. They weren't Freddy's, they were more Bonnies. Well, exactly, they were bonbons from a sister location, but I didn't realise that until later on. But essentially you just want to be careful of how it is. Gonna go around. Make sure in your printers as well that you have enough ink. Apologies for that, the video cut off. But anyway, as I was saying, you want to make sure how your printer has enough ink. For example, here I don't have enough black ink for mine, so some of the darker parts don't really show up as much. Which is why I'm going to use a pen to quickly fill out the middle part of the eye, so that won't really take too long. If that happens, just color pen and stuff. So essentially, after you've cut it out, you're gonna wait for the main resin part of the eyes, which you've just made. You don't want to wait until they're fully gone hard. You want to wait until they're a little soft still, but not so much as like you move them around and all warped or anything. No. So when we get to that part, I'll show you what to do next. But for now, just print off the eyes, and then we'll get to the main part here. Okay, so it's the next day. The resin inside the eyes have hardened now. As you can see, I already put in the picture of the eyes inside, but I did that yesterday when the resin was not fully hard, but it wasn't fully soft, so like it would be able to stick onto it. Now, the main reason why I do that is because you can use glue sticks as well to glue the eyes on as well, but they leave sorry, my throat a minute. But they leave like marks of where the glue was and everything, but this just looks a lot nicer than how it was. So as you can see, it's not exactly center of where the resin is, but once the paint is on, you wouldn't really tell. So there is a couple of ways that you can easily put the paint on. It's pretty much if you have white paint as well, you can use that. You can just use a brush with acrylic paint and just go all the way around on the inside with multiple layers, like this one for example. As you can see, that has multiple brush strokes as well. I wouldn't do the using a brush to paint on the inside of the eye. Now the main reason is, if I turn this light on, you can definitely see all the brush strokes and everything, and it definitely comes up way more when you use the white paint, which is why for these ones exactly, I use spray paint, so it gives it a nice even coating. Don't mind that there, all the crackle and everything. I kind of did that wrong and it doesn't look nice on the outside, which is why I'm redoing them here again. But you can see how smooth it is and everything, and it looks a little better. The only reason mine doesn't is because I put so many layers on, because I was trying to fill in those cracks, but it just didn't end up right, so that's why I'm redoing them. Now the next part that you'll need if you are spray painting is using gloves. That's so because you'll be holding these and you don't want the spray paint to go on your hand. You want white spray paint as well. I'd recommend not using like a gloss spray paint or anything, just like a normal one, so it's like that. As well, if you want to as well, I'd recommend putting tape around the outside, so a few times, and also maybe if you want to put like tape around where the main picture of the eye is, so that when the spray paint goes on it doesn't ruin it, and plus it won't go on the outside of the eye. So I'm going to get my spray paint and gloves, and I'm going to go downstairs to show you what I do next. So at the minute I am outside with the eyes and also the spray paint that I use as well. I can't remember exactly which one I used for the one I used for the first one that I did was spray paint, so hopefully I got the white one, or was the white satin one. I'm not really too sure, but I'm going to try this one anyway, because there's not really much of the other one left. And I'm also wearing my gloves as well. Just want to spray that, and I'm outside in a ventilated area, so that'll be best. I don't have any respiratory masks or anything, so it'd be best to have some. And also make sure if like you're doing it on the ground, or if you're doing it inside, like you want to put down some cardboard box, or even just like paper, or just something where like it won't stain anywhere. But essentially you just want to give it a nice, I think it is this one, just a nice even coat, not too much. Not too much, otherwise I'll ruin it. So as you can see there, it looks perfect. It looks quite good on the inside as well, so what you want to do is just leave it for a little bit, maybe give it a little more around the edges, but if there is any around the edges, once it's dried, or you can easily just scrape it off a little bit, but essentially that is done. So I think it is this spray paint that you have to use. The white satin one doesn't really work as much, so I'm going to put this on the ground and then start on the other one. I think I need to hold on to it a little bit differently, because as you can see, that's why I wore the glove. Hopefully it isn't raining. I'm going to quickly do this. Make sure I don't get on my palm. And I have one of my eyelashes in it, that's great. Yay! I think that it is raining, but as you can see I have now done that eye on the inside, and essentially that is it. Now you just have to wait like about an hour and a half for it to dry, then they should work. This is the white satin spray paint that I used originally. You can very much tell the difference between them a little bit more. These haven't dried yet, however I want to see if they come out alright. Yeah, that looks way better. But that today is how to make a realistic Five Nights at Freddy's animatronic eye. I hope everybody liked this video, and I would hope everyone considers liking, commenting, subscribing, sharing this video to anybody else who are cosplayers or makers of animatronics. So it'd really help out as well with the channel. So I hope everyone enjoys it. Bye.
Seriously, I'm not joking. I can't get out of this. Help me! Michael! Help! Michael! Help me! Ah! Ah! Ah!